One day my mother looked at me and asked, "Who are you?" That's when I realized I was losing her, even though she was still alive. She used to know. I was home just by the sound of my keys. She remembered everything, every date, every detail, every part of me. Now, she doesn't even remember she has a daughter. And that's the question that haunts me every day. How far does love go when memory fades? Before you can understand that, you need to know who she used to be. My mother used to know me by the sound of my keys in the door. Before I could even step inside, she'd already be walking toward me, arms open, smiling like I'd been gone for weeks, even if it had only been a day. She never said welcome home. She just knew I was home. That's who she was. My mother was a woman who remembered everything. Birthdays, recipes, the exact date my father proposed, the name of every teacher I ever had. She kept photo albums in chronological order. She labeled everything. She used to say, "If you don't write it down, it never happened." I thought that was annoying when I was younger. Now I understand. She was trying to hold on to us. Our relationship was built on memory. She remembered my first word, my first heartbreak. The night I called her, crying from college because I didn't think I could do it anymore. She said, "You can. You will. I know you." And she was right. She always knew me. The forgetting started small. She'd ask me the same question twice in one conversation. She'd forget she already told me a story. I told myself. It was stress. Everyone forgets things. But then she started writing notes to herself. Little reminders on the counter. Turn off stove. Lock door. Call Maria. My name is Maria. I pretended not to note. One afternoon, I found her standing in the kitchen, staring at the stove. She looked at me and said, "I forget how to make your father's coffee." She'd made it every morning for 30 years. I showed her. She thanked me, like I was teaching her something new. She stopped keeping the photo albums in order. She stopped labeling things. And one day, she looked at me and said, "You look so much like my daughter." I laughed it off, but my hands were shaking. I came over one afternoon with her favorite flowers, white lilies. She always said they smelled like summer. I walked in. She was sitting at the kitchen table, looking at an old photo of the two of us. Smiled. I said, "Hey, Mum." She looked up at me, and then she asked, "Who are you?" Not in a playful way, not because she was tired or distracted. She meant it. I stood there holding the flowers, trying to breathe. I said, "It's me, Maria, your daughter." She stared at me, and then she said, "I don't have a daughter. I didn't lose her all at once. I lost her in pieces. But that was the day I realized she was still here. Our relationship worsted. After that day, I moved in with her. I quit my job. I rearranged my entire life, because what else was I supposed to do? She raised me. She held me. She knew me. Now it was my turn. But it wasn't enough. Some days, she thought I was her sister. Other days, she thought I was a nurse. She'd ask me when her daughter was coming to visit. I'd say, "Soon," because I didn't know what else to say. I became the memory we used to share. One night, she fell. I heard the sound from the other room. I ran to her. She was on the floor, crying, confused, trying to stand. I helped her up. She looked at me like I was a stranger, and then she said, "Where's my daughter? I want my daughter." I held her, and I said, "I'm right here." But she didn't believe me. That's when I had to decide, do I keep her here, in the house where she raised me, where every corner holds a memory she can't access anymore? Or do I let her go somewhere safer, somewhere with people who know how to care for her better than I can? But if I do that, am I giving up on her? Am I choosing myself over her? I called a facility. They said they had a room available. I stood in her kitchen, holding the phone, staring at the photo albums she used to keep so perfectly organized. And I thought, she would hate this. She would hate being somewhere unfamiliar, with people who don't know her, who don't know that she used to sing in the kitchen, that she hated green beans, that she always said "I love you" twice before hanging up the phone. But I also thought, I can't do this anymore. Not because I don't love her, but because love isn't always enough. I moved her into the facility 3 weeks later. She didn't understand why. She cried. She asked for her daughter. I told her, she'll come visit. She believed me. I visit her every week. Sometimes she knows me. Most times she doesn't. But I still go. I bring the white lilies. I sit with her. I tell her stories about her life, even though she doesn't remember them. I tell her about the day she taught me to ride a bike, the summer we spent at the lake, the night she stayed up with me when I was too scared to sleep. She listens, and sometimes she smiles. I made the choice. I kept her safe, but I lost her anyway. Stayed, even when staying hurt. She doesn't know my name anymore, but I still know hers.